we're in 2024 now. I'm just curious, does month to month, does it change for you, or is it just every month can be anything at any time? Or like when the new year starts, how are you looking at 2024 saying, what are we doing this year?
Well, it's a new year. It's a fresh start of the new year, although everything doesn't reset to zero, except for maybe my mileage on United. It resets to zero, and I have to restart that to like 250,000 miles or whatever it happens to be. But no, the cases continue on, and I just it's a good time to reflect and reset and say, what do we want to accomplish for this year? We want to have more clients have their charges dismissed without going to trial. I mean, a goal, we want less cases to go to trial because we don't want clients to run the risk of having to go to trial. When they go to a criminal court martial, the deck is stacked against them. And while we're very competent litigators, I'll put our track record of wins against anyone. I mean, literally anyone that's willing to actually show their track record. We win the vast majority of cases we take on the trial, but I can't win every case. And it's extraordinarily risky. So if I can get individuals who are under investigation and they retain us early and I can divert their case from going to trial. We literally just had one occur where we had charges dismissed, or they weren't we had charges dropped within weeks of us getting on board because we were able to find evidence that OSI wasn't willing to look for. And so when I look at the new year, I said, well, I'd like to see less cases go to trial. And that just means not we're pleading guilty or anything else, but we can divert more service members from having to take the risk of going to trial, win those without having to go to trial. And what that also does, that frees up kind of my time as well for those cases that are going to go to trial. Because inevitably, we'll probably try 8, 10, 12 cases this year. That's about average. We try, 10 to 12 fully contested jury trials a year. Some years is more, some years it's less. But I want to make sure for those cases that are going to trial, where there are no other options, we're not going to do guilty pleas, that we can get those and be in a position where we're going to win. I'd like to win every single trial this year. That would be fantastic. And, so that's, I kind of reset and say, what do we need to do to make that happen? And so that's really, that's one thing I really think about New Year is, kind of thinking about, what are the goals? And again, those goals are to win more cases and, lower the risk for clients. Just because I like going to trial, I love trying cases. I probably tried more cases than the vast majority of, probably not all, but the vast majority of other civilian counsel out there. If you can keep a case from going to trial by doing, not a plea deal, but by doing pretrial investigation, by doing, the work that NCIS, CID, OSI is not doing, and kill a case early, well, that's a win without having to go to trial. That's a win without having to spend 200-300 hours probably in court. That's a win potentially without having to fly in places, although we certainly have flown places to do investigations, but it lowers the risk for clients. And I think that's really important because not every case should go to trial. And I want that to be understood by anyone calling us, because you're going to call us and do a consultation with us, because everyone that does any background on me or looks at my, the content we put out, they know I'm a trial warrior. I love going to trial, but it doesn't mean you retain us or we're automatically going to go to trial. The reality is a small number of the cases we take on should be going to trial and do go to trial. The rest, if we can divert, that's a win. If you go through and just go to our website, look at all the case results that we post, you'll see that case after case after case, we're consistently able to kill off these cases without them being charged, because unlike, whether it's trial defense or TDS, because unlike maybe military defense counsel or other civilian counsel, if you retain it, I'm not just going to sit there and do nothing. We're going to, do an evaluation of your case, understand the facts of your case, and do the investigation that probably wasn't done by law enforcement. And if we find exculpatory evidence or find evidence which negates your guilt, then we can make a strategic call whether we want to hold that or turn that over to the prosecution or turn that over to the government, so I can use that as leverage to kill a case early. So if we can do the more of that we can do, the better, because that is a win without that's like an automatic win. Like, why would you ever want to go to trial if you can win it without any of the risk or the expense involved? And so we do that a lot. And again, what that does is, because there's only so much time in the day, unlike other law firms, when you retain my law firm, you get me. You don't get some of counsel. You don't get some retired military judge who hasn't tried a case in 8 years, who's on the website to make it look like they're bigger than they are. You actually get me. I'm the one trying your case. So if the relationship doesn't work, you don't like the way we hold ourselves out or the way we present, then don't hire us, right? But I'm the one who does this, myself and Ben Gold. And so it allows more time for us to prepare those cases which are going to trial. In this case, obviously the fee is substantially higher if a case is going to go to trial than if we can kill it with an investigation. So it's a win-win across the board, and it really allows us to have a much higher level of success and a sustained level of success. That's part of the reason why we've been so successful year after year after year and going on 15 years of doing this as a civilian counsel now. If you want to reach out to me and do a consultation and take this to the next level, give me a call at 813-669-3500 or reach out to us on our website, www.bileckilawgroup.com.